absolutely tumbled down, absolutely stuffed. And when I first went on the trust, they put me up to have a look at it, and I said, send for the bloody bulldozer.
Yeah.
And the hell with it, these architects and historic places trust people said, no, it's worth saving. And if you can convince somebody that it is worth saving, we'll put some money up. So we've done that, and we've got managers in there, and there's been people staying there. It costs a fair bit, it's quite expensive.
Is it?
Yep. Yeah,
Oh, it's a boarding house.
yeah, it's a guest house sort of arrangement. Yeah.
For official parties, there's a group going there this weekend for having a reunion.
Yeah.
The old phys ed school from Dunedin.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
the old
from
phys editors were up there. Yeah.
So
Oh, should be some wild parties, I take it.
So it plus there's all those other little cottages and huts that are scattered to and round about. But it would say for to hire the thing for, because it could sleep in the homestead itself, 11 or 12 people, and there's a self-catering kitchen and all that sort of stuff. It's beautifully furnished and that's all. It cost about $800 to hire the whole thing for one night.
Oh, that's not
so there you are, George, you can take a few women up there and do your thing for the weekend.
And the latest thing we're going to,
now.
Is it?
and the pipeline, we're going to shift the old Glenorchy school up there.
Lord.
Yeah, it's the local school doesn't want it anymore, and the education ministry doesn't want to look after
Jen
it.
went to school up away round the corner there, and that's the old original Paradise School.
Yeah,
Is she?
Yeah.
the little wee building.
Yeah, little
That's a little hut now
Yeah.
that sleeps a couple of
How
people.
did she get round there?
That was the old Reese Valley School, was it?
No.
No, it was Paradise.
The Paradise.
And, the girl...
Did she board at Aikens or something?
She boarded with Mavis or something. No, she didn't. She must have boarded with the Reeds at Arcadia.
Yeah, that,
Oh, right, yeah.
Because the girl Reed or Mrs. Morgan, she taught.
well, Dave Morgan taught it.
Dave Morgan's Mrs.
Oh, she teaches too.
She's one of the sisters anyway. There's only two sisters, Tom Gray and Dave Morgan's wife.
Didn't know about the wives, but
Yeah, well, one of them taught him.
so this business at the Paradise Mine, George, you worked there.
Yeah.
You camped there.
Yeah.
Was Bill Vernon and Jimmy
But
Sam?
Mudford went there first, you know.
Was it?
The huts were just built, you know, and there was no lining in them or anything. And they chopped their way in through the bush and great birch trees hanging all over the place because
The huts was right by the mine.
yes, it stepped up the hill.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen a photo of. So who was the boss there when you were there?
Well, it's strange that. I was just thinking the other day, I didn't know till Mitch Robbie died. Horry Honey was there, I thought, came from the coast. And I didn't know Mitch Robbie was his daughter till she passed away.
Really?
Now that's 60 years, isn't it?
She was a honey.
Yes.
News to us.
Yeah, well, there you are, you see.
Well, they all came from the same group, I suppose, did they?
Yeah, came over from the
Yeah.
coast. Yeah, Mick Barry and all them.
Okay. You remember the names, but I didn't know any of those guys.
And then there was a couple of jokers came from up there in the Marlborough Sounds, Havelock, up in near Waka Marina. They've been mining here. They were a pair of characters.
So that mine opened when, roughly?
Well, it was open, the Paulins had it.
Right.
Yeah, and they carried on working there, and I think George Paulin actually was the manager for a bit of time.
Yeah.
But they were gone the time I got there, so I can't tell you with any accuracy when it started. I don't know. I was there in 1941.
So you, the mines department, you joined up with them, I suppose, to go there, or?
No, I was in the army and I got man-paired out because I was a miner, not a minor.
Yeah.
I was both actually.
Oh, a minor.
I was only 20, so I got kicked out of the army.
So you got-
Paradise, I didn't know where the hell it was.
So you went straight to Paradise,
Yeah.
not up Mount Judah, or?
No, straight to Paradise, into a hut and straight into the mine the next day.
Who was your mate in the hut?
Bill McPherson, no name round the donkey.
About your age fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember Bill, don't you? Oh.
You
No.
remember Bill McPherson, and
No.
Jack McPherson worked for Dave Knowles.
No, I remember the name, but I couldn't put a face to the person to it.
He lived just across the
Straight
paddock
at
from
the end
us.
of the lane, more or less. Going down to your...
Yeah, the old folks did, but he lived after he's married where the camping ground is now.
Yeah, North Coast. Is that
Yeah.
right?
That Northcote cottage there that your folks had.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they towed a piece in there. Where did it come from? Well,
They towed a piece
off it.
away from it,
Yeah,
took it round to the
yeah,
old
it was
folks'
round
home.
to the place, yeah.
I can remember it being hauled along and on poles, rollers, hauled by a tractor down our lane, down to the cemetery, hard left down the Vernon lane as we called it, and was clipped onto that house there.
That's right.
So you were probably driving the tractor and stuff, were you?
Jack Weed.
Did he?
No, I wasn't there.
I did. I wasn't. I never saw that. I might have been in high school then.
It's quite vivid in my mind. It was an
Oh,
amazing.
it'd be something to see.
It's
a
a
house
bit,
moving
well, seeing the
along.
whole house on the move in Glenorchy, of all places. Yeah.
Yes.
So you were digging away there for the government.
Yeah.
Did you say Horry Honey was the boss?
Yes.
Was he?
Yeah. Headley Savage was another one, and then Ted Fitzgerald. They moved on down to the bottom mine, the big mine.
Okay.
Got better housing.
And Bill Barrowman was the blacksmith.
Yes.
What did he get up to all the time? Was he?
Oh, he was busy all the time because there was no tungsten bits in those
No,
days.
he'd be doing the drills outside.
And,
Yeah.
yes, there's quartz there if you're drilling the quartz. He was a good blacksmith and could temper steel. If you did a foot before the steel was done, you were lucky.
So he'd done blacksmithing before, had he?
Oh, yes, yeah.
He didn't just learn.
Interesting thing about Bill Vernon, now my neighbour next door is a part-time cashier. He works for a weed sprayer. And he goes out over the Landsborough. Bill Vernon told me once that just before the war, he discovered this gold field away up some gully, I don't know, Watteroa or Landsborough or somewhere. And he said he was just going to get it designated by the mines department as a mining area. And the war come along and away he went. And of course he got sand in the lungs. And
He
that sent him home.
had an awful problem, didn't he?
Yeah. But anyway, this chap next door, it had things crop up. And I said, oh, it's somewhere in there. I said, chap I knew once was mining around there. And I said, Bill Barron. He said, there's Barron's hut. He said, still there.
Well,
In the Landsborough?
Somewhere way up the head of the Landsborough.
Oh, look at me.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, it's Barron's hut, they called it.
Oh, I didn't know he'd been there.
Yeah. But no,
But,
Bill reckon the mines department are going to declare it a mining area.
what for though?
Gold?
Okay. In the creeks or?
Oh, I don't
Reefs
know.
or?
They just said
Okay.
we didn't take much notice.
So did you actually work with Jimmy Sanders?
Yes, later on, after we had Jim had on tribute.
He didn't work there
No.
for the mines department.
I don't know where Jimmy was. I don't think he was anywhere around Glenorchy. I don't know where he turned up from.
Queenstown.
Queenstown, no doubt, but I don't know what he did there. His brother was with the county.
I don't know what his early days were.
Yeah, I don't know, really, I don't know where Jimmy appeared from.
So you and he worked at Paradise after the war?
And on tribute, yeah.
And you was that when you carted all that mullock and stuff down?
No,
to,
we had nothing to do with
that was Smithy, wasn't it?
Smithy, yeah.
Okay.
Jimmy was the last one in that mine.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember going there.
His brother was there with him too, but
I think so early on. I don't remember him being there, but yeah, there was other Sanders around. I can remember talk of. But it, now, I was talking to Richie Bryant this morning. You told me a story about when Harry went over the bank
yeah.
up there. You were involved there somewhere.
Yeah, well, I had to go across because nobody could start the old Carmelita to come and get your mum.
So, how did you get across there to start
Oh,
with?
heck that we had up the hill. Tarzan was his name.
So you went across the river?
Yeah. It's all quicksand, so I knew he belonged to
Yes.
the Elfin Bay. That's where he had been domiciled. And I think old Arawata Bill had actually introduced the horse to the area. Interesting enough too, it was what they call a five fingers breed. And on the inside of his back leg was this black mark, and the story was that some boat got wrecked over at the Haastway or thereabouts, and stallion and some mares got swum ashore and vanished into the bush. And this was part of that breed. You could check on it because it was some Arab stuff.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
So you rode this horse to bloody Kinloch and
Yeah, I got on his back.
mad gallop, I suppose, was
I
it?
let him go, and by the time I got over there, Norrie Groves had got the boat going. So away up the valley in the bus.
So you took a bus up.
Yeah, this time they got them down to the root pool.
What was the scene when you got there?
Oh, well, they were standing round.
You didn't see them?
Nobody was really hurt. Smitty made a great fuss. They took Connie and the boy Smith away in the area, the old hostel.
Yeah.
Rang Popeye Lucas and he said, well, what sort of paddock you got? They talked about this one and that one, and he said, well, get your car, and he said, go from corner to corner. He knew the area, the paddock below the homestead,
Yeah.
running down to the river. And he said, if you can get up to 45 mile an hour, he said, I'll come. So old Lewis Grove had a Morris ISIS story, remember, there's a square thing.
oh yes, yeah, the
He had
ISIS.
a career in the way across this paddock. Lucas came up and he ended it.
So what state was Harry in when?
Well, the funniest thing of the lot was I didn't know it. I thought his brains had been bashed out. He all looked like blood. All
Oh,
over it. But they were going for a picnic, and they had a Hudson terraplane, the glove box folded down, and she had a chocolate mine sitting on it. It's emptied over Harry.
Oh, that's great.
I thought his brains had been bashed out. But the boy Smith kicked up a great fuss, but they weren't badly hurt,
So
really.
what boy Smith was that?
Uh,
Rolly or
Ivan.
Ivan?
Oh, the oldest one.
Yeah, I remember the day it happened, and Jack Whitey came in and told us about it. And I don't remember Mum going anywhere. She
Well, that's the
couldn't
idea of going to
have,
get.
she couldn't have got there anyway, but
Well, probably not, I don't know.
no. But so you never went up to the scene of the accident?
No.
Okay.
Well, he must have been looking for deer or something because I saw the work went over.
Yeah.
Rolled down onto the Weaker Flat or something.
Eureka Flat, yeah.
Oh, it was quite a distance, I think it was. It was all fern this high anyway.
So what did Harry have to say? That was he talking to you?
No, something went wrong.
Okay.
It wouldn't be Harry's fault.
Well, have a good story. But
But
you
I
actually
think-
drove for Harriet too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Off and on.
off and on. Yeah, well, the Duke and I did too occasionally. Go over there and
Yeah,
go
well,
over
that
there.
was the sort of thing.
I did too once.
I remember, yeah. You drove the Chev,
Not very well.
didn't it? You go off the road.
No, I didn't. I got the busload of tourists up there and back, but I was barely 15, I should have thought. I'm not sure that I actually had a licence.
You really wouldn't have. No.
And Harry rang up and said, would you drive up? Can you drive? I said, oh yeah. He said, well, come on over from the Carmelina. That's your bus. Take it for a run up the road. See how you get on. Got back down there, and there's little people streaming off the gangplank. Harry pushed him into my, off you go lad.
Yes, there was a bit casual in those days.
Oh, dreadful.
Funny how things take years to come back too. I had to take his car wanted something done to it and asked me if I'd take to Need. So this kind of suit where I kind of holiday
Yeah.
and get a free trip to the Need. So I took this Hudson terraplane into Millis's garage in Murray Place. Said there was something wrong, wouldn't start most times. It seemed to have a short somewhere. So anyway, cut the story short. The terminal come loose in the battery and there were 6 horseshoe nails driven in round the terminal.
Sounds like Harry.
And everything has an ending. My friend here next door, he's come over and he's got well, I knew he sort of a wagon there sitting out there, I think. Station wagon wouldn't start, it kept clicking. It was what the terminal, and his terminal was biggered. So what we did, I had a bit of copper pipe. We cut a sleeve out of the copper pipe and put on the terminal, it was all right. So we didn't have any horseshoe nails.
You would have used them if you had.
I think I've done the same thing when I'm stuck.
Yeah,
Drive stuff.
but that thing's not that old, and why that terminal was loose, don't know.
Might have always been loose.
I think myself, he put a new battery in, and I think probably the terminal was a bit small.
Could have been.
That was the earth terminal.
Some strange battery or strange.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had to go, you did the business of lighting the fire and dishing out the tea and the scones.
Oh, yes, sort of thing.
Lifting that
Telling lies.
lifting that bucket off the fire with a broom handle. Can you remember that? It's a wonder someone didn't get scalded.
You know, when to talk about barbecues, I reckon that was the first barbecue ever in the Wakata. When he opened that new room at the top there, with some rabbit netting, and we filled it up with chops and folded it over. Yeah, put it in there and cooked all the chops.
On that fire?
Yeah, yeah. Then I took half a bucket, half a kerosene tin full of King Edward's spuds out of the garden and boiled them pied. Yeah, it was a beautiful feast, it really was.
That was the opening of the building, was it?
Yes, that was a new building. I think it's been changed since, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been pulled down, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't been up there for a long, long time.
So, were you there at Ruth's 21st?
No.
You weren't?
No.
When did you leave Glenorchy? 55 or something, I reckon.
54,
Yeah.
perhaps. Yeah.
About when Bert left. Would it be about
Well, I
that?
don't know. I think he was gone. Yes, he was gone before I
Okay.
left. Yeah.
That was-
I'm not sure when I left.
I would guess 55 from my
I
memory.
think I was 18 months or something at Belfast, and I went to Yard in 58.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, after Paradise, you must have finished up the state mine somehow
No,
too.
well, I got me to get down and drive the bus. Take the miners to work. There's an old bus there that took the miners.
Oh, for Knowles's.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Smithy.
Oh, Smithy by then.
Smithy had a part this time.
Okay.
Yeah, so up and down there. And then
This is
I'd
up the
work
mine
at
road.
Work at the battery all day.
Oh, so you took them from
Yeah.
the camp.
Down at Glenorchy.
At Campbelltown?
Campbelltown.
Yes.
Some lived at Glenorchy because the houses were there, but
Yeah.
when the mine was still there.
And you took them up the hill road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And came back to the battery. So I did do a couple of, or it might have been a month in with Harry Hopgood. We drove the
Underground?
last round in the tunnel into the hill.
You were the last fellows underground there.
Yeah, we drove the last round. Yeah, well, it's over the last, it was pulled out the rail.
So you drove the last round and then started
Yeah.
pulling out rails. You'd wonder why it was...
And I did the same thing at Paradise with Jacob Graves. William Garnett Graves.
removing the rails and...
No,
getting
that
rid
was the last drilling.
Oh, okay.
And then I got taken out the rail.
Oh, that's interesting. So who else, did you run into Ben anywhere when you were driving this bus, or he worked at the mine there a bit too with Lloyd
Oh,
Venn?
no, I was at the battery most of the time.
Okay, so he wouldn't be there. But Lloyd and Ben sort of camped together somewhere there
Oh,
and worked in the mine in the winter time.
I didn't know that. Oh.
But you wouldn't probably cross their trail if you weren't working there.
But there was 2 or 3 lived at the battery there.
Would be.
Yeah.
And Ernie,
Oh,
just have a few stories about Ernie, George.
Yes, no, he was an incredible fellow. And nobody discovered till he died that he had a British Empire medal.
A British Empire medal. How did he, from the war or
First
something?
World War.
Was he an officer or
I
something?
don't know what it was. He never mentioned it, never said a word. But how this came out, I don't know, but it was rather strange. It was a well-known fact that he saved all the gold. There was gold in the quartz at the big mine.
No. He saved all the gold,
Yeah,
yes.
because it travels out the table.
He had a wee hole in the table.
No, he had a red gold tip nailed in the end.
Picking it off.
Yeah. So it must have had a considerable amount, I would have thought. He might have sold some.
I can remember Dad's maybe joking, saying that he had a hole in the table and a bucket underneath it, but
Well, he'd had a bucket certainly,
Yeah.
but it was with this...
the fine stuff
yeah,
there.
Yeah, with the glass jar and
Isn't he,
all that.
now and again he'd clean up round the battery,
Oh, yeah,
and he kept all the takings.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
supposed to be a no-no, isn't it, for a
Well, after
veteran?
the mines department finished, the chap Cornish, no relation was it to Jim Cornish? Great big man. They got about 4 tonne of shit off,
From?
all round the battery and over the bank.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was tubs there left with
Yes.
great heaps of stuff in them and everything. They got about 4 tonne for free.
Oh, I don't remember anything about that, but
Yeah.
I'd just be a kid.
So Mr. Gaskell must have had a few bob in the end, did he?
Well, I suppose he did. He used to get down and get on the plonk a bit, but that was only once a week.
Yeah.
wage all the time working for the government.
So he was the manager of the battery.
Yeah, and he would be paid. I think he worked the battery for Reeds, he'd be paid by them. That was the Kanorki Sheelite Company. He'd definitely be paid by them. And then he carried on for the government, and then after the war, he crushed stuff for all the others that were left behind.
On his own behalf then, did he?
Yes.
Did he lease it from the government or something?
Well, I suppose he just borrowed it.
Just get it going.
So when did the battery committee start?
I've no idea.
After any left, probably.
Oh, I expect so.
You would have been on that, were you?
No, I was gone.
No, you bloody were.
I've been out of Kanorki for what, over 50 years?
You must have been on the battery committee.
No.
Would you?
Oh, Ma, I don't remember being on, except one time Archie Elliott was told to order some weed killer to kill the blackberries and that. And that would, you know, you get 5 gallon. You ordered a 40-gallon drum.
I thought you were going to say you ordered whiskey instead.
It was 80 quid, I remember
That would be
that.
expensive stuff.
But I don't know, I might have been on the committee for a start, but I don't think it was there very long.
You never walk around the battery race and shoveled out the rubbish?
Oh, I used to do that when I was working for the government.
Oh, okay. So Ernie, he was in charge of the home guard too during the...
Yes, yeah.
Did you have anything to do with that?
No.
No, Dad didn't either. He was supposed to, but...
I had an argument with old Mr. Sharp.
Old Ernie.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
That's worth repeating too. Laurie Smith and Mr. Sharp. Oh, see. Old Ernie said, said to Laurie Smith in the pub, you should be in the home guard. And Smitty told him no and said in terms what he thought of the home guard. And Ernie Gaskell said to him, what would you be doing if the Japs landed down the wharf there? And Smitty said, I'd be sitting up the bloody battery with the 303 watching you shaking hands with them.
What a reply!
Oh, gee.
That's a great. Love that story.
Yeah, well, Dad used to tell the story on Sundays. All the fellows were supposed to go to the home guard down on top of the Bible there.
Oh, I
You know
didn't know that.
where the rifle range was?
That's right.
And
Bucks there, wasn't there?
Dad was camped at the battery at this stage. Must have been during the war, of course. And he didn't go, but he was up there along gathering wood, long above the road.
Yeah.
And apparently it was right in line with the... There's a few rounds would click, click through the
The
bushes.
scrub.
You reckon they were having a few shots at him, they probably...
Oh, no.
Was a hell of a lot of lead up on that.
Oh, yeah, we used to...
Oh, that's one, yeah, actually, I more or less didn't tell the truth there. I didn't have anything to do with the home guard except on one occasion I got a brain gun.
Wow.
And I wanted to know how to use that. And I didn't need it.
You never had a brain gun exercise?
Went down and sat it on a tripod down to the old wharf. Fired some shots out into the commonage.
Yeah. For whose benefit? Ernie's?
Hey? No, for the home guard's benefit.
Okay.
And that, strange enough, that was one of the original breeding guns, and they had a ring sight out on the side of them.
Yes.
It wasn't on the straight along the barrel at all. It was a ring sight at the back and a ring sight up the front was out the side.
I can't remember what...
Worked out why.
Can't remember what they had. I think
I think that was abandoned because it'd be hopeless if you're in the tight corner and you get knocked off straight away.
Yes,
Just
that's
the
right.
whole
Could never
sight
be
up the
adjusted,
front.
was it?
It's some fancy business.
Yeah.
But they were a good gun, by you.
They're great fun to fire.
Yeah.
yes, I remember playing with them one day at Vernon, but so you went away to the Air Force before all this, or after? When did that
After.
happen?
That's how I didn't like command by this time. The only way to get out was manpower there and you had to stay.
Yeah.
So I volunteered for the Air Force and got dragged off there eventually.
And then you came back
Yes,
after the war was over?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I got married in the meantime, so I sort of had to come back, didn't I?
Good work.
oh, did you?
Good work.
You got married by long distance. How did you manage that?
No, I got leave and came down from Blenheim. Would be.
I remember one of the first times Gollops ever came to Glenorchy, we were going, Smithy was taking us up the road in the Austin or something, or the Stewdy, and Mum and us kids were sitting there, and well, you might have been driving us. Anyway, Jan and Sally came along. These are young ladies round town. They worked at the pub, didn't they? Yeah, you were driving the bloody car. Of course, we didn't realise what was going on with you and these young ladies. But
So this was taking us up to the tucker box,
yeah,
the red box, at
Yeah.
the turn off to the
Yeah.
Macintosh truck there. And we were taken up or we were taken down?
on this occasion.
I can remember going down once with
I
Smithy.
think wonder how the hell ever drove a truck and shooting that up that road.
Right.
It puts the scares up me now.
Yeah.
So you got into with Jen. So how did you keep Charlie under control?
No worries.
No worries. He was good company in the pub though, wasn't he? You never knew what he was going to say next though.
No,
Did you?
he was really a bit, and Bert was worse.
Was he?
Yeah.
They were hard things.
Bert didn't like me a great deal, you know, because my sister had no right marrying a commoner.
God, I wish I'd been there all those days when all those things were going on.
Oh, God.
Charlie and, yeah, they used to run the Dart Valley and Wayne together, sort of, didn't they? Or,
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
That was when Reg turned 21. That was the end of the Mrs. Hume's lease or whatever it was, and he was to get the controlling share, but they had a meeting, and Charlie and Bert ended up with the two places, and the kids got 100 quid each.
Okay.
See you later.
But you got the girl.
Oh yes.
You got the girl, George.
Yeah.
Oh well, that was probably the best deal, wasn't
We
it?
got the other one.
You probably got the best deal.
I'm quite sure I did.
So, about that time, do you remember anything about the building of the hall? Or?
Well, actually, Bill Barham and I, you know, those big iron braces up
Yeah.
on the roof, we made them up at Paradise.
Did you?
Yeah.
So did the contractor build that, or who built it?
No, mine's about.
Mine's Batman Carpenters.
What was his name? Jack Scorchy? Is that name strike about?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, he built it. Well, it's one of them that built it.
So he was a mines department employee, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the mines department totally built it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I thought, I've got no idea those red pine timber will last forever.
So you have memory of them building it, and
Well, of course, we were working at Paradise
Yeah.
then, you see, and you'd only be down to the weekend, and it'd be another stage ahead, so on.
there wouldn't be any mills going at that stage, was it, up there?
No, they were finished. Cooks were way down south.
Yes, they would. Now, from the hall, getting on to dances and things, you must remember those.
Oh, yes, we plenty of that fun in them.
What was the highlight of your dancing career, George?
Nothing.
Come on now, I remember you calling the dances and
Oh, yes.
MCing and...
MC for a few of them.
Hey?
I used to be MC.
You're bloody good at it too. And the music, who the hell was the music in those days?
Oh, Ian Hamilton Jen and I played sometimes.
Oh really?
I tell you who played there too, interesting enough, old manager, old Collier.
I've heard that, yeah.
And he had minor psoriasis, and he played the cornet. And he could play it well, but he couldn't last long enough to go right through a dance sequence, you know. He'd
Yeah.
give up.
Yes,
So I thought he was
short of
game.
breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he played beautifully.
So was Ferg and Barb
Yeah,
involved in
they
those
were
days?
days, and Gene Scott.
Okay.
And Jack Wiley played the spoons
Sometimes,
sometimes.
mainly in the pub.
Mainly in the pub. So, anything else besides dances in the hall in those days?
Oh, they had to go one time at was it basketball to play indoors.
Badminton they did later on, but
I might play badminton. No, I
No.
remember Jim Hume's wife and Nora Scott having a fight.
really? A cat fight? Anything important they were fighting about?
Well, one scored a goal and the other one reckoned it didn't.
Jimmy Humes, well, that was the Tuppy. Tuppy, what was their name?
Oh, Wheatley, he was a great old fellow that. They had the drapery shop in Queenstown.
Wheatley says.
He'd come up to Gnorky and have the old hall full of clothes and stuff. He was a great fellow, you know. He'd wander in there, he never worried about you, and you could Sometimes we shift his stuff to one side. We decided we want a bit of a shindig or something.
Yes.
He never gave a hoot. And I guarantee nobody ever pinched a thing.
God, yes.
No, I think his son used to come up too after.
Yeah, Owen.
Yeah. Do you remember Mrs. Jolly Roger? She used to come up too with haberdashery, and might have been after your time.
No, I don't remember.
What about that old guy that used to come up?
Old
Two
Joe.
enormous bloody suitcases.
Old Joe.
Yeah, he'd walk up every house and try and sell it up. Who was his? What was his name?
Joe Reed.
Old Joe.
Joe Reed?
Oh, wait on.
I think so. From my memory, it was Joe Reed.
It might have been.
Enormous cases.
Yes, he was a
He must have had arms like a gorilla.
Syrian or something, wasn't he?
Yes, he was something different because they were so heavy and he carried them everywhere, and they must have hands that have been down to his knees.
He used to work the Paradise Mine.
Did he?
Yes.
Worked there.
No, take it.
Oh, yeah, okay. He lent Dad some money once.
Did he?
I remember, yeah. To buy a compressor or do something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I suppose he got it back. I never heard, but
I remember Mum referring to him just as Old Joe.
Yes, that was all he was known as.
Yeah.
so the hall and the pub was the centre of the whole town, I suppose.
Of course.
Bill Torrey, or
Oh,
Where did he come from?
down Ettrick Way.
Oh, right, yes.
I don't know where he originally came from, but that's where he was married.
Right.
he was married at one stage, was he?
Oh, yes.
Before he went to war.
I met his wife in the Garson pub, and she was some relation of Ira Hanson, who owned the pub. I don't know.
Never knew he was married. Probably had kids, did he?
Well, could have done.
Probably left a few in Egypt.
He was a hard case, wasn't he?
That time, do you remember us hunting for him?
Pardon?
He disappeared. We thought he committed carry while he was drunk, you see.
Yeah.
And we hunted for days for him, up the hill and everything, but I can't think who was, it wasn't Gaskell. There was somebody else camped in one of the huts, and there was tin and beans and that go missing. So eventually Pat Doherty, policeman, was up there, and everybody hunting for him. And Mac had his telescope out to study the lake.
Dear old Mac.
And he was hiding up in the scrub.
God.
Yeah, he's got, and I always remember legal talking to Pat Doherty about it. He said, well, I had to write a report. So I put in temporary insanity after a bout of drinking. He said if I hadn't put the temporary in, he said he'd been locked up.
Yes.
This was Bill Torrey.
Yeah, that's a point of law, isn't it?
Oh, I guess it is.
Temporary in.
So the policeman could deem it temporary.
And it turns out later on, somebody's relations turned over and they said, oh, he used to do that down in the lake. Disappeared.
Oh, okay. Well, he liked going up to Beansburn for long periods.
Oh, was that
Beansburn.
shooting over?
Eh?
Did he go shooting?
Yeah, after deer. Hides, I think, or deer tails or something.
Oh, yeah.
I can remember him bringing deer tails into our place, and Dad and him having long discussions about the benefits, or otherwise, of deer tails.
Not deer other parts, was it?
Yeah.
Well, I remember his tales about the Long Range Desert Group and things he got up to in Cairo.
Oh, I never mentioned much about that I don't remember. Only saw him.
Now he had a terribly sad end, didn't he?
Yes, and that Pat Doherty made a statement here too. He says, I've been chasing him for a long time, he said, but I'm not too sure if I got him yet. It could have been a dead sheep, he said. He's bolted.
Yes, I was there the day they pulled the remains out.
Aye?
I was there the day.
Were you?
Yeah.
Gee,
Well, the next day, rather. I was out at Paradise and
good look at it.
the night he did that. But
Wouldn't be nice.
Was that at Earnshaw, wasn't
yeah,
it? At the shearing
at a hut there.
hut there, yeah.
So at the pub in those days, Casey, you must have had dealings with Casey,
Yes.
eh?
She did with him all right.
Did he take any money off you at the pub?
No fear.
Eh?
No fear.
Did he ever go?
No, I never bothered. Oh no, I didn't get in that game.
What the hell were you doing all night at the
Probably
pub?
Sheen wouldn't let me anyway.
Ah,
No, they were big stuff, the Wileys and Gaskell was one,
was he?
and George Burt the publican.
they all join in and
Yes, they had that front room.
private
That
room.
was a gambling den.
You were never privy to that.
No, I never wanted to be because I never had enough money anyway.
Was it poker they were playing?
Yeah.
45s or something?
Poker.
Poker.
You had to have 100 quid to go in.
A lot of money in those days.
And Casey said, and I was there, when he said, oh, well, I'll be in. And George Bird said, oh, and it cost you 100 quid. So Casey got out his checkbook and wrote the check out. And George Bird said, what could I do? I said, Saturday night. And about 6:30 on Sunday morning, there was bang, bang in our door over home, and here's Casey with 650 quid he'd taken off Wiley. So there, in his shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this.
All in hard cash, I suppose.
And he said he wants me to toss him double or quits. What'll I do? And I said, get down on the boat tomorrow and put it in the bank.
Good on you.
But he did, he went away and never came back till it was spent though, did he?
I had him up the boozer. He'd just come up to give me a hand sort of thing, and I'd got about 50 quid worth of tucker. Anyway, he disappeared down the lake and he went to Gore and met Cochrane's daughter, the racehorse trainer, and he bought a motorbike, and he and she took off for a tour somewhere up the South Island and never come back for 3 weeks. I told him to pack his bags and go. Oh, I'll go at the weekend. When I went back up the Monday, half a tucker was gone, or 3/4 of it.
Really?
In case he was gone over the other side. He was over the Mac somewhere. Oh, he was a terrible thing.
Yes, he was a bit of a character.
A story I seem to remember of Jock Edgar coming up from Queenstown for a heavy weekend
Yes, the old
cars
Thelma. Yeah,
and cleaning out the locals. Was that?
so I heard.
Oh, you
I
only
didn't
heard?
join that either.
No, I didn't imagine you would have, but I seem to remember Dad coming home he probably hung around on the edges watching this.
Jack Tripp and Gasco were involved in that lot. Jack Tripp was one.
So did he clean out the gullible miners? Then,
Oh,
did
yes, yeah.
he?
Way back to Queenstown.
He came up on the launch, didn't he?
He had his own launch, the
Yeah.
Thelma.
The name?
Thelma.
Thelma.
Great
Oh,
old thing. It was sort of an open end with a bit of canvas in the back of it. God, quite old boat.
that'd be an epic journey.
Yeah.
Probably well worth it for the old bugger then.
Oh, he was a clever fellow. He had a lot of money.
Did he?
But the interesting enough thing, he and Hamilton and I took him and up to Skipper's Road to have a look at it. You know, and Urban Crosby and his sister Pat, they owned the Garston pub, used to ski down at Garston. That's where the first skiing sort of started in the Wakanup area.
Really?
Up on the side of the hill at Garston, going out to Nevis.
Well.
So they come up and they want to have a look. So Ian said, oh, we'll go up as far as we can get up to Skipper's Road and we can skid down the hill. So we dropped them off right where the lookout is now.
Okay, at the saddle.
That's as far as we could get from the chef, so Hamilton chef. So they tapped on their skis and skated off. We picked them up down about the Dan O'Connell, they call it, you know that? Yeah, picked them up there. But this is true, as I said to old Jockhead, who was standing there and looking all around, he said, some bugger's going to make a heap of money here one day. They're skiing. The skiing, skying.
Skying, they call it.
Yeah, and that was 20 years
Yes.
before they started cotton and pig.
Yes, your shrewd code.
See, you can see it, you know.
Yes, well, he'd sort of been involved with tourists, hadn't he, before they
Oh,
take
all
them
his life.
over to Greenstone and
Yeah.
to Milford and stuff.
And he also was renowned too. He had 32 horses that carried the battery and the Bullendale.
Oh, he did that?
Yes. Well, one of many, I would say.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
they went a
see.
different track altogether. They went up the Moonlight and down Stony Creek and across there.
All right.
The road wasn't all built. The Skipper's Bridge wasn't even built.
Wouldn't be much of a track,
No,
would
there was no
it?
track at all.
Oh, I never knew that story. Because there must have been some track
Well, naturally.
where the road is
That
now.
was where most of the first lot of miners went to Mary Point. That's the way they went in because there was no other way. Scrambling over the top of the hill. And I don't think anybody thought of where the Skipper's Road goes at the present. Until they built the first road and they just went over the saddle and down that gully right down. Into the Green Gate, over Deep Creek, and right up over where we used to live along the top there.
Yeah, I don't know where you live, but
Oh, well, you know where Deep Creek is? Going to skip it.
That's
Bridge
not
over. After Long Gully.
next one after Long Gully, or
Yeah, you go down round the bluffs, picture bluff and that, and you go right down to river level, where all the rafters and everything take
I've only ever been there once, so I can't.
Well, we lived up, just up above on the flat up there.
Yeah, you've given me the odd photo of your head up there, but they don't mean a lot to me, the sights. But anyway, Casey, yes, we dealt with him.
What about some of those other interesting guys? Can you remember the Count?
Oh, yes.
Kevin Morrow, was it?
Morrow, yes.
Where did he come from, or where did he go? Did he just
Don't
drop
know.
out of sight?
He told us when the Melbourne air race was on, the Centennial air race or something, there was a channel wing aircraft entered in this race, and that channel wing, the engines were in a dip in the wings. And he said, in that race, he said, I own the world patent rights to that.
He was an interesting character.
We thought he was mad.
Yes.
By gee, a joker got off the boat one day in a black suit and a black box and asked for Murrow, and went away over and had a long conflict, and he left not long after that. And I don't know where he went to, but I met him in tea room somewhere, separately up country somewhere, I can't think where it was now, and he had married with 3 kiddies.
Well,
He used to camp in that hut down
rabbit
below
board,
Sharp's place there.
rabbit board hut.
Rabbit board hut. And he was always an interesting guy. I used to like going over there and talking to him.
He'd done a bit of university time.
He had.
Oh yeah,
And I remember him playing the piano
oh, he could have done.
in the hall one after a dance.
Okay.
The dance had finished, and he came in and sort of shuffled in quietly, as was his kind of way. He just sat down and started to play. He was an enigma.
Yes.
He was a useless bug as far as working.
Oh, no, he never. He told me this channel wing aircraft had never started in this race. It was put out, kicked out. Right. But he told us, talking in the pub, that he watched at the Roxburgh Dam. He worked here for 2 years now, and he said he could see the leaves get lifted up and disappear. And he said, well, the wind hadn't got underneath them, so it must bring the flow over the top that lifted them off the ground.
Yes.
Well, that's a bit to do with aerodynamics
It is.
anyway.
Yes.
And that's where he designed this channel wing aircraft. And there was a plan of it, I've seen it.
Yes, he was always into something, inventing something. He had to go out inventing the
Pat
hand.
Scott nearly killed him one night too.
Who did?
Pat Scott, we were over at our place having a few drinks, and Pat Scott filled his drink up with lighter fluid.
On purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a joke.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's gargling round here for a while. Good game
Well,
to go and get your mum.
Bit below the belt. That was a bit below the belt, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Now the Count had to go out making a handpiece where the comb went
that's right.
back and forwards too.
Yes, yeah.
It didn't work very well. But
Well, and the thing was, it had that high lift too thing, which was
Oh,
a roller.
snow cone sort of thing.
Roller packed up with wool and jammed. It
Yeah.
was just a little roller under the...
Do you remember?
To keep it off the
Keep
belt.
it off, yeah, for
Yeah.
high.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I forget how the hell he worked the mechanics of it now. But how the hell would you make the comb go back and in and out? I don't
Going up and down. Well, I don't know how he done that.
know.
Oh, well.
Would it work any better?
Doug Scott gave him a couple of handpieces to experiment on. And I remember him trying them one day when we were sharing there, but they didn't. No one wanted to use it for the day or anything. I remember our Sharp asking if he'd ever had a woman.
Oh,
He got all embarrassed.
well, he must have eventually.
Perhaps she gave him the idea.
I don't know, but yes, she sprung that on him. And he was sort of, what he was like, sort of shy, and I don't know what he said now, probably he said nothing. So you knew Ernie and Peter, and
Oh, yeah.
did you know Gerald as well?
No, Joe was away to war. He went west to Greece.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you would have had a lot to do with Peter here and there.
Oh, no, only at different times. I tell you what, him and I one day left Glenorchy go and do a bit of fosking up the hill, and we eventually got up to the Boozer, and then we got the Boozer up to Alaska, and then we got out to Larkins, and then we went right over the saddle looking into the Shoto and back down. My God, I've never been so big in all my life.
That'd be a long day.
I think it was about 13 hours.
You came back the same way, or did you go down
No, we
precipice?
came back down Stony Creek, and that was a bad mistake.
Was it?
A bit tight in places. There was sort of a track going round. There's a mine up there called the Lone Star. Did you hear about it?
Oh,
Is it
this is on,
Stony Creek?
Yeah.
This
There's
is
a
on-
in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
that's on Ted Spur you're talking about?
Hey?
On Ted Spur?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it went up and the reef went
Yeah.
round the hill there, and it probably faulted up and was the Larkins reef eventually.
Probably.
But there was a sort of a track coming.
There's quite a big track there, it used to be.
Yeah, we come round it for a while, and then there was no track sort of thing, different places. Boy, yeah, dicey, a long way down.
Mm.
Peter was quite a clever sort of bugger, wasn't he?
Oh, yes.
I think.
He liked to make out he was who he wasn't.
Mm.
Well, because
He told me how he got his shot forest ticket down at Roxburgh. The boss man said, now, can you make a primary? So he did, which of course he did naturally. He said, and he said, oh, well, light the fuse. So he lit the fuse and threw it over the bluff. And the Jake said, that's all right, you'll do for a ticket. So he just did.
oh, so he got his ticket all right.
Dear.
I don't know, it might have been right, because I went for mine, had to go to Nin and sit there in front of the Inspector of Mines, who was a good friend of ours, old Hughie Gordon. You ever hear of him?
Not sure they have.
Yeah, he was great. He come after Macmillan.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I never-
Dad talking about
oh,
Willen.
yeah, I thought he was a friend. He was no friend when he come for your exam.
Right.
Different attitude altogether. Yeah.
No, I don't think I ever, well, I might have seen him, but I don't remember him. I remember Macmillan, seeing him once, and who was next after that?
Oh, I got no idea. I may be wrong. Was it Darky Thomas?
Well, he's in there somewhere, wasn't he? He was before McConaughey, wasn't he?
Yes, and he came down when I was the lineman. He came down there
Okay.
and see me one day.
Darky Thomas.
Yeah. He was another coaster.
Yes.
And he organised getting rid of the bloody stamps at the battery there, apparently.
Oh, I don't know.
Annoys everybody. I don't know, no one knows where it is now, or they pretend.
Well, it's definitely not up here.
Not here.
No, there's none up here, the girl tells me. She said there's some old bits of wheels and stuff, she said, but there's no stamps.
This is at the dockyard, or whatever.
Yep. None at all, she said.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mystery. I don't know why Dick Watson went and pulled it out and it got shipped away. For what reason, I wasn't there then, but apparently Darky gave the okay, apparently.
Oh.
So,
Was Darky representing the government?
yeah.
Mines Department.
Most of it, yeah.
Um,
Must be minuted somewhere in their records.
well, unless it finished up one of these. No one's too sure where the one at the gorge up here came from.
I'll have to go back and have another look at it. Because that joker told me that he got it at the Bonnie Jean.
Oh, yeah.
And I said there was no battery at the Bonnie Jean. There was originally. The Bonnie Jean battery was over the creek, below the head of Jock there.
Yes.
Those huts were there.
Yes, I remember that.
But he'd be talking about Wiley's one, was he?
Yeah, well, that Wiley's one, that's the one Jack sawed the 4-inch shaft off. The axle.
That'll take a day.
For what reason?
Several weeks.
Why
Yeah,
did
because
he?
they didn't have room for the 10 head of stamps, you see.
So just chop it off.
Yeah, and he started off with a wild ingenuity, and he rigged the hacksaw up and started to hold the stampers up, you see, and this is going to saw through this thing, but it only using about that much to teach you see, because it's round.
Yes.
Tore out about 20 blades before it decided that wasn't going to work. So you could see on the end of the axle, after they cut it off, where it cut for so long there, and then perhaps turned it
On
cut
an
so
angle,
long there.
yeah.
So I must get up and have a look at that, because this joker Edgerton, he told me he got it to Bonnie Jean.
Well, that'd be Wiley's one, I suppose.
Quite a discussion with him. And I said, no, I said, it wasn't, there's none at the Bonnie, yes it was, that's where I got it. And I said, it's Groves. No, it wasn't Groves. He said, that was Wiley's.
Oh, so he knew the difference.
Yes.
But there was no
so I
battery
think that's the one from the battery, if you ask me.
from Wiley's.
No, from the state battery.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Well, I looked at that one up the gorge here, and I thought the shaft looked a lot smaller than I
Oh,
remember
it
that.
could be.
But
See,
I'm
I
not-
never took much notice. I just was more interested in seeing how it worked, and by gee, it worked beautifully. automatic feed and all.
Yeah, I didn't see it working, but
But they didn't have much water, they only ran it for a few moments to show the tourists.
yeah, well, there's two. The Norky one was 2 boxes, wasn't it? It was a
Yeah,
10
yeah.
thing. And one of the boxes was broken.
Oh, I didn't know that, you told me this, yeah, I didn't know that.
So that would be pretty obvious if you ever saw that.
Well, we had 5 head hung up most of the time.
Yeah.
Only the 5 head nearest the crusher. Well, the other 5 were hung up.
It was the other way around when I last saw it go.
Oh, well, that must have been
Because
something broke
the other one had been broken. The
Shoe
stamp
fell.
head had come off and jammed into the box or something. It was all broken out on the bottom,
Gee,
on the right hand side from the bottom side.
good Lord.
So you'd recognise that if you saw it, so I know where, because it's all gone, nothing there now.
And there is talk of going back, isn't there?
Well, we'd like to get it back, but we don't know where it is.
Some rumour in the
Doc, makes all-
pipeline.
Pardon?
There's some rumour in the pipeline, I think.
Well, Doc's policy is that things get returned to their last original location.
Yeah,
But
they're all bullshit though, Doc.
they got no money,
They've run out of money.
Yeah.
They're going to do up my hut up at the Boozer.
do they?
Yeah, it was on, they were starting on it and then they run out of money and I haven't been talking to them.
They're laying off staff now too, so.
They're not started, wouldn't they? If it's still there with their rocks haven't belted out.
So-
Sorry, carry on.
So you had a bit of experience at the Boozer and the Shadow and that,
Oh,
didn't you? You worked there with Ted or in the Shadow, didn't you? I remember you telling me a story about timber given away or something. I forget what it
yes.
was.
That was the last time we got in there. We were working away there and we'd had a tunnel down further and gone up the creek a bit for put a new one in. And I took a truckload of stuff out and tipped out, went back in, and the prop split right in the corner. I thought it was a bit funny, so I went up to Ted and I said, I know, the prop split back there, and Ted just thought, you could hear this creaking. And Ted says, I think we'll take a walk. Picked up that and I was gone.
Yes.
Right? He just come strolling out and eventually it all fell in, we never got back in.
It was pretty loose and rubbishy in there, wasn't it?
Oh yes, it was all close timbered, you
Yeah.
know, layers on the top and bits and pieces in the hole.
No, no.
Never let anything fall out, that's
No.
the secret of
Yeah.
it, you see, that's why people get killed underground, because they let the stuff run and keep wheeling it out. And
Get the
make
big
it
hole.
Like that,
Yes.
exaggerate it as it goes up.
All right.
The old chap who knew well at Arthur's Point got killed like that.
Yeah, so that was in the Shadow. And what did you actually do at the Boozer though?
Oh well, it was ratting mainly.
Oh yeah?
And Jimmy came up there and Jimmy shifted the hut up from the Jean.
From where?
Down by the Jean huts, that old one's still there.
Oh, it's one of them.
Yeah, and he and I shifted it. He did most of it. Shifted up there. Tars and the horse.
Tarzan. Okay.
We had a track going round the slip for about 40 yards. And this horse would walk with his feet like that.
See?
Absolutely true.
This is horse you took to Kinloch.
Yeah.
Same one.
Thought he was a marvel.
Yeah. So do you work with Ted at the Bonnie Jean too, didn't
Yes.
you? When he was sluicing or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Got photos of that here somewhere.
So that'd be an experience. So that was round in the big open cut where he did his sluicing, did he, Ted?
Yeah, it was out in front of the hut there.
Right next to the hut.
Yeah, right next to the hut. We were right up pretty close to the hut.
Yeah, that's where the hydrant finished up sitting, just somewhere there.
Mm.
Still there, I think.
Yeah, gee, that's one of the toughest jobs I worked up the shot over shipping pipes and that pipeline up the hill was tough going.
These big,
13-inch pipes
big-
up the top there.
yeah, well, I wouldn't have a clue what they're like.
Oh,
7-inch pipes, bad enough.
they were heavy. Just went up the hill.
What was the longest 13-inch pipe?
15 feet.
15 feet.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, you'd need 2 men to lift one end, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just about.
Pretty well.
Oh no, they were heavy.
You put a bolt in
But they
every...
were welded, they weren't riveted ones. Where they've been riveted, you'd never got them up there. Well, you would have, it was a bit of ingenuity, a wire rope and a pulley or something.
Well, in the 7-inch variety, the welded ones were heavier normally. But in my experience. Might have been just
Double
thickest.
riveted 7-inch pipe, God, gee, they were heavy.
And these 13-inch pipe, did you put a bolt in every hole?
Yeah, yeah.
Be a whole heap of them, wouldn't there? I remember Dad only used to
And
put
built the dam. There was a bit of a hollow up there.
Alright.
Took a bit of a trench down each way. All the sods in.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I've heard a few stories about Ted. Any
Yeah.
stories about
He
Ted?
was a ridiculous fellow.
He knew his stuff, didn't he?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
well, Jack Tripp trained him and he
Yeah.
did this man. The Tripps worked at the Nuggets. You saw that thing on the Nuggets, didn't you?
Oh, that mining thing, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
the Tripps,
Yeah.
the original grandfather was there. He came out from Cornwall. And all old Jack Tripp as we knew him, he was born there at the Nuggets. And he was a miner born and bred like he'd done it all his life. And he trained Ted.
Right.
He was brilliant. Old Jack Tripp, brilliant. Engineer, everything.
The old Jack.
Old Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the young Jack was in Glenorchy, was he at the Sunshine or somewhere? Where did he?
Yeah, well no, I'm not talking about old Jack Tripp as we knew him.
The skipper.
Yeah, that was Jack Tripp at Groves's.
Yeah. Oh, he worked at Groves's.
Yes, he come over here to Groves's, and brought Ted with him.
Oh, okay.
That's how Ted came.
And he built the battery there, didn't
Yeah,
he? Yeah.
that's how Ted came to be.
So that battery probably came from Skipper's too, did it?
No, I don't think so. No,
Um,
it didn't, because that's the mine they're talking about opening up, the Crystal.
Okay. So in Wiley's aerial, you must have some stories about. Maybe you had to fix a splice or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I made a mistake there too.
You didn't make a mistake, George.
Well, I took some pack straps here, went out in the bucket, there was a splice had come undone. It was about 14 feet of loose wire.
On the carrier road.
On the
Big road.
yeah.
Yeah.
I went down with a hacksaw, so I took some.
Trim it up.
Yeah, cut it off. Took some pack straps with me, tied a bucket, it was not Wiley's buckets would be like. So I tied all this up as best I could. And I said I wouldn't go unless Ted was there, which Wiley didn't like much. And Ted reckoned everyone was near enough. So that was right away out. They pulled me up with a hauling line.
Yeah.
From the
Right
top?
out over the creek, a big one, yeah, I reckon it was 600 feet down to the creek. Sure it was. Anyway, I got out there and thought, oh well, I've got to make sure here, so I put one of the pack straps up over the rope and down, around myself, so in case I sort of fell out or something.
Mm.
So I cut the thing off eventually and gave him a wave to start off. And the only thing I'd forgotten was to undo this pack strap over the big rope, and it just started to move and I got the buckle undone. And it still didn't.
Yeah.
So what would have just?
It'd have dragged me out and I'd be hanging there on the
Oh, you were
strap.
tied to it, yeah. Yeah, that would be a bit tricky.
Pretty interesting.
Could have been still there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to like hearing the sound of it going. It was
Oh God, it used to
a
scream.
spectacular sound, wasn't it?
One time Ted and I must have been having morning tea or lunch or something, we hear this squealing and we looked out and there's the bucket going up and they had some sheets of hardboard, you know, those old sheets of hardboard you used to get, tied on the bucket, and it started swinging with the speed, I suppose, of the wind or something.
Catching the wind.
And hit the other bucket. Zoink! And I reckoned the one that was going up past the other would go down. There was gelignite strewn all over the road. Oh, it must have hard.
It was a great machine though, wasn't it?
Oh, ingenuity. And they went and got that wire rope, the last piece, up at Skipper's.
For the top bit they had.
Yeah, and they brought it out from up Stony Creek, and a coil of, say, about 2 coils of about 4 feet, one on each shoulder, and walk along with a dragging a bit between you. Oh, no. Gee.
So you were around when they added that bit, were you?
Yes, but I never saw it.
You never saw it do it, okay.
When did that rope come down? And who took it down?
I don't know. What?
I didn't know it was down, actually, till you told me.
Oh, down for a long, long time.
I can remember some horses being injured with rope.
Yeah, a horse got tied up in the hauling line and
Oh.
got it round its foot. You
Oh,
know.
And it was a
yeah.
hell of a mess, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, they spent a lot of money getting decent hauling lines. They ended up Well, you've probably seen it, one about a quarter inch, and
Yeah.
you could tie it in a knot like a bit of string.
Really
It's a
some-
beautiful rope. Yeah.
It's expensive, wasn't it?
I expect it was.
Yeah. It all worked pretty well.
Yeah.
But then Dave built the track of the road up there, didn't he?
Yes.
Didn't need it then. I suppose he let it down, or
I was never privileged enough to go up that track, and thank God I didn't. I wouldn't have gone up with Jack anyway.
did you? I don't think. Was Jack still here when that track was there?
I don't know.
Did you
I took McGregor's, the bulldozer up to pull the aerial up, and they put that new rope in.
Oh, did you? Up to the top?
No, down the creek, just to tighten it up. They had it up so far, they just hanging,
Okay.
dragged it out. They had the clamps all ready to tighten up. That was David Brown, was it? The first dozer they had. I've got a
Oh, that'd be Norrie's one, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, he had the first dose.
yeah.
When the first bit of road they built.
God, it was a terrible thing too, because that brake steering, no clutches, you put your foot in the brake and killed the engine.
So did you ever see the sheelite they got out of the, in the tunnels they had?
I went up, and Ted and I went up and had a look. It had to be seen to be believed.
When they were on their prime there.
She like running down the water table because they had nowhere else to drill.
Okay.
Really?
It's that
That thick?
That thick.
Fabulous.
Yes, I only
40
saw
odd tonne I think they got, didn't they?
40.
Yeah.
All up would be more than that one. I don't know.
Well, it could have been. Might have got 40 tonne the first year, because you don't need to go very far with she like that thick to get it done.
No, well, I remember when Dad was sluicing there on Judah, they were getting about a tonne a week processed for the summer, when Smithy used to come up or Ferg used to come up and cut us. I remember being there on occasions, the truck driver and everybody was standing around, had to carry a bag out on their shoulder from the table shed, around the way the truck turned around. I wasn't big enough to carry one, so I kept it out of the road, but must have been good stuff though.
Oh, yes.
What sort of prices was the go those days?
Well, I don't know if that was when, yes, it must have been, because they got the highest price ever paid, and Jimmy Sanders and I were next.
Really?
They got exactly £1 a pound, £2,240 a tonne.
It was the same price as wool at one
Well,
stage.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
and Jimmy Sanders and I had half a tonne in the following week, and we got 1,700 and something.
Really?
So you'd be straight down to the pub, where there's a lot of you.
Oh, no, it takes a long time to get the check.
You'd have credit though, wouldn't you?
Oh, well, no, I never bothered with credit. Might have credit the store for a month.
Yeah, I guess. So that when you're at Paradise, you got this.
Yeah, we got 4 tonne there in about, big of all, about fortnight.
Really? Must have been a good blob then.
Well, I knew a bit about it because I'd worked there.
Oh, you knew it was there, you bugger.
Yeah.
Hey?
Good.
Well, I didn't know there was that much there, but I knew there was signs of it.
Okay. So which level was that in?
It was right at the outcrop up there. There's a huge rock up the top. Do you ever see that?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, there's a huge rock up there. And just behind it is this about 3 foot thick of quartz, and there's a few spots and streaks, I said to Jimmy, well, it might be a bit there. Jimmy says, we'll drill a hole in their charge. So we did. We covered it all with bags and everything too, so if there was any sheelite, we knew there was because of hammer and tap we were drilling too fast for the quartz.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 4 tonne.
So it was in big quartz and a reef, or just
Yeah, 3 foot, and it was all through it for about 6 foot, going up the length of the reef and about 4 foot down. There was a lot of quartz, there was a lot of sheelite too.
Was it hard quartz? Was it?
Oh,
You wouldn't be roasting or anything those days, would you? Straight to the battery. No, I don't remember that. But anyway, so you bloody near spoilt the war effort, didn't you, by having that 4 tonne instead of the government? Chamberlain wanted
the
that.
government, the government treated the sheelite miners poorly. They were paying Portugal £3,000 sterling a tonne for sheelite, and they set the price to North Wall of 350.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they set the price.
Yeah.
Sheelite in New Zealand, their war effort was
Yep.
put 350 £150 a tonne. I'd check up to find out I'm right.
So, well, Neville Chamberlain, whoever it was, sent out orders, I suppose, we want that
Oh,
stuff.
Churchill by that
Churchill by that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how was it when you produced that 4 tonne? Where did you sell it? Who to whom?
That lot, I don't think it went to Scully, it went to Dalgetty's.
All right.
Yeah, they were the main dealers
Yeah.
early on, weren't they? No one else wanted to be bothered with it, I suppose. But then Scully got quite a...
Scully arrived on the scene and they were all sort of, I think he was boated off into Russia.
You reckon he was?
I'm certain he was, because it went to Germany.
Ah,
Well, he was a bloody Jew, wasn't he? Aye? You had a few whiskies with him, I suppose, did you?
Oh, I didn't mind him, he was a bad sort of a fellow. We went up to Dave and Bessie Wilder and Jen and I went up North Island for a trip. And we were going to Trentham races, but anyway, cut the story short, went over on the ferry and we said to the taxi driver where's the place to stop the night, you know, and we're going up further on, so we got this place in Manor Street and the guy went up the stairs and it was this room, I don't think the bed had been changed for 20 years. It was shocking. So Dave said, I'll ring the Scully. Scully, I said, I know the place, you're not stopping there, I'll arrange accommodation for you immediately. So the next thing, he arrived and took us up to St George. Of course, we didn't pay. He did.
yeah.
This other place was probably one of his...
And down the bar, it was bloody, what's his name, that Jagger, he was chief engineer in mines. And Benny, the under secretary.
All right.
They all drinking at George and be there drinking with them. It's all good out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Landreth is
Yep.
the name of the
Oh, yes, I
chief
remember
engineer
that
in
now.
mines.
Okay.
Scotty spent some time at Glenorchy sweetening people up, didn't he? There's some talk around the place of Scotty making big fuss of Mark Shaw
Oh, yeah.
and some scandal, not scandal, but potential scandal about some woman that he brought with him.
Oh, that could have been right too.
Who, Mark brought with him? Or?
No,
Oh.
Scully did,
Oh,
for the
okay.
purpose of tempting the Shaws, or something of that nature.
You brought his second.
That's right.
Oh, he had a good-looking bird with him.
That's right. That's the one.
Yeah, and Mark was sort of hanging around, but I don't know what else.
All part of the.
Do you remember the Galbraiths that used to come up there fishing?
Take pictures, yes I do.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I always talking to Mark Shaw that she went up taking photos and stopped the night with Mark and John. Now they commented, she come back, she said, oh, marvellous people, and I do wish Mark could wear pyjamas. I just imagine Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well she took a lot of film up there, or some film.
Yeah,
And I know where it is, but I can't get
Yeah.
hold of it. Yeah.
they got
Well,
it.
somebody owns it now, so...
Yeah, they wanted to come and stop with us one time, and she wrote us a letter from that, and a menu for the meals that they'd require.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, she took a lot of video around the town, you know, I've got...
That,
Did I show you?
done on the trip to Paradise fishing, that took her 3 years, passport to Paradise.
Yeah, trip to...
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Is it? Where
From
is
the
it?
time she left Hutt, coming across on the ferry with that chef car with the fishing things up.
So, have you got that? I gave you some of that, but have you got...
No, she showed it to us.
Yeah. It was on TV or something.
Was it?
Oh, way back, yeah.
Oh.
And I've got some of it, I might not have given it to you. It got Sir Smithy in the bus and
Oh, good.
people haymaking, you've seen some of that. That was her stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I've got. Yeah, that's it.
They're catching that fish out there at Reed Lake, she
Yeah.
said. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was about 6 she caught and let go to get the series, you know.
Yeah, it was all supposed to be one trip up on the bus.
Yeah.
But you could
yeah.
see it was over years or
Yeah,
long time.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was invited out. He invited me out to go fishing, to have a look at him fishing. And he's sitting there and he wasn't doing any fishing, but she was. And this is a Reed Lake. And she said, they're rising just a bit far out, I can't cast that far. And she had a pair of gym shoes on. I said, well, don't you climb it and walk out? But she said, I hadn't thought of that. So she in there up to about her knees, about 2 waves of the old rod, and she had a 9-pounder.
Wow.
What a fish.
Yeah.
So he appeared on the scene. I was allowed to net it because I'd given her the advice to walk out. So I didn't. I made a balls up of that because I tried to net it from the tail.
Oh.
Why don't you do that?
No.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, I wouldn't
But
know.
anyway, the old fellow got off his stool and came over and got the trout and went back, and he got his book out and he scraped scales off and he looked at the sky and he wrote down the weather, light, everything, the fish, the weight, the condition of the scales and all this. And that book would be worth a mint, I'd say.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. It's probably the same fellow that's got the film has probably got that.
Oh, nice old man. Really.
Can't remember what they were actually like. But,
Well, he did one of the surveys, original surveys of Glenorchy for the government.
he did.
Yes.
Was he a surveyor?
Yeah. He was a government surveyor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you actually, you will be able to sometime, if you look at maps or anything, you'll see the bottom down the EV, Galbraith.
No, I haven't noticed that. Well, that's just news to me. But they, there's a bit of paper you got there. You got it? Anything else we made a list.
Oh.
Or I made a list of things we might know or...
Covered a lot of ground. Covered a lot of ground.
Smithy, he had a tribute on the Paradise Mine too, didn't he?
Yeah, he and Jimmy cut a lot of stuff down and put it through the battery.
Just bloody rubbish though, wasn't it? That's the stuff that you fellas tried to roast the stuff out of. That's quite a story by itself, isn't it? Arsenic and stuff.
Oh,
Remember that?
No, I didn't do any of that, except up at the battery.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Oh,
You worked at the battery there.
God, I don't know how sweet that. Funnily enough, that time, recently, when we were up there making that film, those jokers told us that I said, never affected me, and he said, well, before you did. Well, what, I'm 89 next month, this month. I'm
Yeah.
still here.
Well, I remember you told Mum apparently that it was the illest you've ever felt. And Smithy was the same, was it? Jimmy too, was it?
Smithy only.
Was it?
Oh, he was sitting at the end of the tube there with a fire shovel and reading a book. Couldn't see him for his gas coming out of the thing.
Can't imagine Smithy
It
read.
was lucky too, because as I told Pat, at those times the end of the roaster went out into the concrete pit outside the shed.
Yes.
So most of the smoke managed to get out that way, out up the chimney. But no, and there was white stuff hanging off the rafters.
So these were arsenic fumes.
Yeah.
So,
So they told us.
well, we assume it, everybody thinks it was, don't they? And you were pretty crook, apparently.
Oh, big quick, that wasn't funny.
Because I've got the...
They didn't affect your eyesight.
Isn't that much to yours though yet, is it?
No, I mean at the time.
Did
You
it?
sort of wandered around. thinking
You
you're-
probably felt like you were going to die or something, did you?
Well, I wasn't too certain.
Yeah.
No, well, I can imagine it would be terrible. She says you told her you were ill as you'd ever been. And then the health department
Did I
came.
tell you about meeting the health department person that came up to check us out?
Not offhand.
No, it doesn't matter really. This person came out because this is an industrial hazard.
Yeah.
So news had got out somehow. And met Smithy. Smithy said, oh, blooming hell, and everything else. And this woman got hold of Smithy's face like this and turned it around and she said, is that your natural complexion? Because you've been down around this gas and the picture, all this, she must have thought there's something to do.
The Specimen Smith.
That's one of the funniest things you'd ever have.
Yeah, I'd like to see her report.
Your natural complexion.
Did she go up to the battery or I suppose?
No. Just took word from us and went back on the boat.
Okay,
Don't think they ever did anything about it.
okay. So you were around when that magistrate fellow was going to go up to Black Peak and adjudicate
No, I missed that.
You were gone, or
I don't know, but
No, you
no,
wouldn't.
I had nothing to do with that. Oh, I didn't know anything much of it.
that was the Paul
I
and
think-
McIntyre's thing?
Yeah, apparently, as history tells us, the only court case was ever held over Sheelite.
I don't think it ever got held, did it?
Well, it got to solicitors.
Well, yeah, I don't know what they actually did in the finish, but he
Yeah, and
refused.
the other dispute was when Tripp and Paul applied for the lease of Black Pig. And the surveyor's report is there somewhere, you can find, I don't know where I read it. And they said that he'd done Peg A, and there was no way he'd set up his plant to do Peg B, C and D. It was over the bluff.
Well, that was earlier on, before McIntyre.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
way back.
way back. As I say, that was the other type of city dispute, because some of the other miners, what's his name, was there in later years. McLaren, and them were disputing it.
Oh, they had to go too, was he?
They reckon they had too much land.
Yeah, that was something to do with Paul and, wasn't it, too, was it? Or-
No, it could have done. Oh, well, it wouldn't be hard to have a row with though.
But apparently Dad was on the boat the day that Warrington
Oh,
came up to view the situation. And I don't know how Dad happened to be on the boat, but he happened to be a lot of places.
yeah.
But they're coming up on the boat and they get up near Glenorchy and they were showing him where he had to go, up Black Peak there. So he does decide, oh, well, we'll have this meeting in the pub.
Took a long way up there.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what happened now, but
No, mine must have been away.
yeah, that was McIntyre and Paulins.
Yeah.
They were the gypsies and the bandit, respectively.
Mine too, I think, in those days, generally speaking, there was a lot of people went and worked here or there and this and that, and places that somebody hadn't been in for years, not necessarily had a licence to be there. But,
Oh, yeah, probably, yes. Just do a
matter a great deal.
quick moonlight and get a couple of bags and away, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah. And like, I mean, that didn't matter because nobody else was doing it anyway, and the people that owned the lease were long gone.
Yeah.
Because the lease that I had with Shadow was for 21 years.
Mhm.
And it was, what?
Did you not have to work it to retain it? You did.
Supposed to.
Nobody ever checked them. Right. The
So-
only time that would happen if somebody else wanted to go in there.
Yeah.
Yes, if someone wanted it, you'd have to
Yeah.
pull your socks up, wouldn't you?
They're talking about that chap Murrow playing the piano. There was a joke of Stan Browning. He worked here, eventually got taken away. He used to get on the mess and that. And he used to get rotten drunk down at the pub. And he'd have a sleep off somewhere out in the veranda or something, and he'd come in and he'd go into the lounge and he'd play the piano, all classic stuff you'd only hear in a concert hall.
Go on.
Unbelievable.
There's always someone around like that. Well, there used to be, didn't there?
People, girls and them used to sneak in quietly and sit down, he'd still play until somebody said something,
Yeah.
and he'd up and off.
Bill McConaughey was a wee bit like that. He played the piano too.
Yes, well, he was a good man with RSA at Dunedin. And the
Yes.
choir and everything.
Yes, he did a lot of hospital visiting and all
Yes,
that
he
stuff.
was. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I always enjoyed his visits, but
Tell me about the old George Ross. You'd remember
He
him?
was sort of a loner.
Yes.
I was quite thought greatly of him. He
Yes.
turned up at my mother's funeral.
He's a real gentleman, wasn't he?
Yes, yeah, good fellow.
did you ever get to see his claim or the
No,
sea light he
I
had?
was never round there. I didn't even know it had a name to
It was
it.
right round at the bottom of the long gully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it had a name.
The Hercules.
Hercules, yeah. Well,
He had a
didn't know it
really
had a name.
rich
Got a few
seam
ton
there
there, yeah.
at one stage, didn't he?
But
He had a real rich seam.
yes, somebody said it was you that told me it was like a bit of a saucer.
Big saucer, so Dad told me. I never saw
Oh.
it, but it was the best, most she light Dad's ever seen. 2'9", I think.
Yeah, well,
Apparently.
that boy had that bit up in Glenorchy.
Yeah, that was part of it, yeah.
That was part of it.
Yeah.
But that big and you can barely lift it.
So George was hoarding it a bit, but someone blew the gaff on him and he had to send it away during the war.
Oh, I didn't know, no. I
No.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
They didn't hear much about him because he didn't go to the pub.
No, he was a very quiet man, wasn't he?
So the mines inspector went round and told him to bloody send it down the lake. But
Oh,
so George would have been much better off, I suppose, if he'd
yeah,
hang
that
on to
was
something.
what relation he married his sister, that chap Baker.
That's right.
It came up there with an old Cadbury van.
That international.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Ross used to come and stay with us in the winters sometimes.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Well, in summertime, I think, when it was haymaking.
Well, I don't know when it was, but it was bloody good when he came because he used to milk the cows. And he could never sleep in. He'd get up, and when us lads got up, he was all over in the cow shed milking.
Yes, he was. That'd be up his sleeve, all right.
Yeah,
That was
lovely
early.
man.
No, good living person, I'd say, but I was quite amused because this chap Baker said that he had quite patched clothes. I don't know if you ever noticed that. He had patches on his
He probably lasted forever, yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing of the original left.
Frugal
This
man.
chap married the sister. He said, I got sick of these old clothes they had. He said, so I bought them and washed the machine. He said, that problem to pieces.
So when you were at Tedder at the Bonnie Jean, he was probably kept at the Jean Huts there, was he? He and Dick Baker worked around on the
Oh, yeah.
McAllister.
Yeah, they were somewhere around there. Best around was in, what's the name of that place?
Well, the McAllister or
Yeah,
the
one of them.
Amateur or something went round there. So that'd be about the time you were at Bonnie Jean, was it?
Yeah.
George used to walk round the hill every day. From,
No, I think I'd be gone by then.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
all-
remember it being.
Jim Cornish, you remember he worked for Wiley's in your time?
Young Jimmy.
Yeah.
I don't.
He and another bloke that worked at the battery full time there
Oh,
for a year or two. They did the treating.
didn't know that.
Jimmy went up every day on his motorbike.
Good Lord.
And
Kevin Grinnell wasn't with him, had he?
don't think he was
I
there.
don't know what Grinnell did.
He did a bit out on Wiley's race.
Oh,
Where were you while they were building that race? I bet you knew it.
somewhere about.
You were. Casey,
Oh, I might have been working permanent for Smithy then.
was that when it was?
Yeah.
You drove the school bus and stuff, didn't you? I remember Ken, one of the Robbie kids, telling me about you driving the...
Yeah, cartwheeled into a hole in the 12-mile hill.
How happened there? How did that come about?
It wasn't funny at all. I went up to get the kids, ran over the old Reach Bridge.
Yep.
And down the 12-mile hill, and the whole bus virtually slid down it. That old G-boy thing was canvas lid. So that's all right. I came back to the bridge and I was lucky because I thought of this. I said to the kids, it's a wee bit dicey. I think you could better walk up, you see. So, yeah, well, it might have been a couple from Paradise too, but I don't know.
The Robbie kids were there anyway.
Yeah, Robbie kids.
Yeah.
There were 5 of them anyway.
Yes.
So they said away up the hill and I sat there and thought, oh, that's time enough. And I set off up the hill. And they were in the water table, falling on their hands and knees. And of course I said, what the hell I do there? I better stop. So I stopped, all right, but the old bus went backwards. Straight over the bank, and there's an old mining hole you can still see there. And Smithy said, how blooming hell did you do this? And she was sitting on the bumper on one side, the back end on the other, and the wheels were
So she slid
Yeah.
backwards down
They
the
must
bank?
have slid backwards and over the bank and gone through the hole and sort of got stuck up
Scrambled.
somehow. I don't know how it happened with it. She went over sideways like that.
So
I
you
don't
never-
know. Yes,
never rolled or
And
anything?
I had a long climb down to get down.
You jumped out?
No,
You were in it?
I still did.
So you didn't roll or anything?
Huh?
No.
So you wondered how the hell I did that. I wanted to.
How the hell did you get it
Oh,
out?
gee. And the kids never forgot it. I saw them different ones years later, they never forgot.
Yes, I was talking to Mike Robinson not long ago about that. He was telling me his memories of that. So you used to light a fire for the kids out there on frosty mornings and stuff, I remember. Remember Gary and them telling us that.
They weren't bad kids. There's none of this nonsense like you hear about today. Oh, well, country boys.
That's right. That's right.
So they had to walk across that paddock from Earnsville, didn't they, to the corner there. That was only a couple of k's, I suppose.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Robbie, you know, must have been in the Wakarat for a long time because he was at Paradise when I first, he was at Glenorchy when I first went there.
He came with those other fellas from
Yeah,
Coast.
the coast. Dick Barry, Jim Wright, they were ones that Jim Wright got blown up.
Okay.
Him and Thompson, that, in the Paradise Line, drilled into him and charged, still charged hold for it.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That was always a hazard.
Well, yeah, it wasn't funny either, right? And Thompson had one bit of rock in his leg, as big as a duck's egg, and there was half of it was in his leg, and the other half sticking out. I pulled a few bits out.
So you were firstish on the scene, were you?
No, they'd come and roaring for me to go and try to get to first aid or something, I don't know. They were just going looking for, Jim Wright had come in, and he'd felt all his way out. There was still blood marks from the wall.
Yeah.
And there was a cross cut, he'd gone up it too. But
Yeah.
he knew where he was roughly, but he should have known, but he'd be dazed. But Thompson was lying in the water table blowing bubbles, so he's bloody lucky he didn't drown.
So there was a nurse in Glenorchy then, or did she turn up? What
Miss
happened?
Cedar.
Was it?
Yeah.
So what happened? What did you do?
Well, I rang the doctor and the launch, and then I rang Collier, and Collier promptly cancelled the doctor and the launch until he could come and see what was going on. So they come up and Vince Gilbert sorted out to cast him off.
Was there a boat day handy, or did
Hey?
they get a launch eventually? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got an idea they've taken Thompson down on the back of a truck,
Well, first they'd have to.
and it lying out straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a bit of an act in those days, wasn't it? So this Miss Cedar, whatever she was,
Yeah,
come
I
out?
don't remember her coming up. Oh, they used to give her a hell.
Was she good? Was she good looking? Was she?
No!
Oh, George, you're bloody pulling our tit, aren't you?
I never had the privilege of going to visit her.
Well, you would.
She,
I'm sure you would have made an excuse.
Tommy Thompson was involved in this, and his brother. They all had these houses here, and they were living in one house, and she was living in another. She had the old-fashioned knickers with elastic in them.
Yeah.
And hang on. Put 2 bricks in each.
Was she living in your?
Right out our window.
Was she living in your old house?
No, she had a house on her own. It was what? 4 houses.
Oh, was it? Okay.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
And Collier was in where the school teacher lived later.
Yeah. So was she paid by the mines department?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
She went out to, remember Charlie could tell a good tale, as you know, Charlie Hill. And Helen had croup or something. She was only a wee baby. I got panicked up and got her out. And she was apparently, Helen was lying pretty still, you know. And she was commiserated with him. She was afraid the little girl was gone. She wasn't gone at all.
Oh, really?
Charlie's remarks on the district nurse were not nice.
Well, she was probably just a nurse trained to look after people in hospital, in
I
bed.
don't know where she come from or
She wouldn't.
whatever, I knew nothing about her.
Trauma was not.
Miss Cedar, that was all I can remember her name.
Nurses those days were just nurses. They didn't
She
first
was quite
aid.
elderly.
Oh,
she-
was she? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she'd be 55.
Must be one of the old school types, I guess.
Your stern old duck, I suppose. She was a spinster, was she?
Yes, could you give you an impression like one of the old matrons who used to run the hospital.
I can imagine.
It's raining.
It is, isn't it?
Oh, that's all right.
It's good.
Well, what do you reckon? Nothing else on that list?
No, I reckon that George has added a few more, of course.
Yeah.
But I reckon it's pretty good here. All of these names have come up one way or another.
Okay.
Really good.
We've probably missed something, but
There were 2 goes of paralysed, Bobby Octoloni and Sid Sparks. One was a Gurkha, he was a red hat name.
rings a bell.
He had to be seen to be really big with the Gurkha. And he had the old Chris Knight
And
still.
his belt.
Yeah, and Sid Sparks had been in the First World War and he still had his Webley pistol. we got on the scooter and went in there and had a few cans or bottles in those days with them. Like a word and the whole civil produced the gun and show it to you and all that. But Bob had produced his thing, his sheath, but couldn't get a look at it unless it was nicking your finger.
Yeah.
Had to draw blood.
Interesting.
But he had holes in him. You had to seem to believe him. Holes in here. He was almost close to him again. And he said, one was a bullet hole and the other was bone.
You wonder how they survived in those days, wouldn't you?
Tough.
Blood poisoning and
Tough
Christ knows what.
Him and Sid Sparks would tunnel way down the bottom. They're trying to cut the reef. And,
Oh, one of them was a little fella.
yeah, both little.
Oh, both little.
And they had to tunnel to shoot. He couldn't get in it.
Hobbits.
Well, the
Okay.
school must be out.
Okay. So did you ever hear Bob Elliott's tales of the First War? Or?
No, only the one he told us about being told to shoot the jokes.
Yeah. Yes, I've heard that one. Must have been a bugger, those things, though.
Well,
Even when they weren't fighting, it'd be bad enough. In the winter time,
But
or even the summertime.
Shocking.
I mean, a bit of action now and again, maybe. Go over the top.
Yes,
The worst part would be living in the bloody thing for
well, it
months.
was about 8,000 Aussies killed in one go because one go because of a chick told General Haig.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to fix that lot
Over the top.
this morning.
Kill them, like, kill them.
8,000.
Yeah, it was pathetic, really, wasn't
What
it?
was it? Was 60,000 Germans and English killed for what, 2 miles of land?
And they lost it time and time again.
Yeah, in a period of 3 years. Somme, was it?
Yeah, that was one of the places. Oh well, yes. Who else was in the First War? Well, Donald was. He was in Egypt.
Was
He
he?
went away with the horses from here,
Oh, yes.
from Glenorchy. But I don't think he saw any action. I don't think he went to Gallipoli. The horses just got turned loose or eaten or something eventually.
Yeah, I think so.
All the horses that went from Glenorchy. He was one of the horse handlers, apparently.
Yeah, well, there's chaps here you see in the history books at Alexandria here, you know, they send off for them, the troopers, 4 or 5 of them with their axe, right?
Get that. Well, we're not going to leave George in peace then if we've
Yeah.
stripped him bare.
Do you want a cup of coffee?
Oh, we'll just keep going.
That's not so good.
Oh well, thank you, George.
That's been a most interesting hour and a half or whatever.
Was it? Was that long?
Story is that thing switched off. It better be.
Okay, it's switched off.